Hey everybody, it's Brian, and it is Saturday night, 11:06 p.m., October 16th, and excuse me there for a second, moving the microphone. As you can probably hear, I am doing an audio instead of a video because one, I want to save my DVD plus R's for other things, and two, I'm going to probably get some batteries later on this week for my camera. But anyway, oh my gosh. You talk about playing a storyline to the hilt, and talk about ripping off storylines, if you will. But TNA is really playing the storyline here to the hilt. I am not joking. Let me explain. I just looked on Facebook about a few moments ago, actually 15 minutes ago, and Dixie Carter posts on there, and if I can find it again, because I have my iPod right in front of me. If I can find this again, let's see, she's in here somewhere. Here she is. 2 hours ago, Dixie Carter posted, and this is the president or former president storyline wise. But like I said, speaking of storylines, they're really pushing us to the hilt. But Dixie Carter, storyline wise, is really pushing it to the hilt. On her Facebook page, she says, and I quote on her Facebook page, "Sick of Jeff Jarrett posting Bible verses and positive messages, quotes, on his Twitter. What a joke." That's exactly what it says, folks. So I don't know Facebook. I quote again. This is Dixie Carter on her Facebook. "Sick of Jeff Jarrett posting Bible verses and positive message quotes on his Twitter account. What a joke." And already you got 412 comments, and it's liked by 349 people as we speak, which is 11:08 p.m. And some of the comments, people just lashing out at her, saying, they don't like what's going on. They don't like this storyline. She was dumb for bringing in Hogan and Bischoff. And again, talk about playing a storyline to the hilt. I mean, seriously, is TNA that desperate for media attention? And I mentioned at the beginning of this that they're ripping off WWE. I mean, a lot of people are saying they're ripping off WWE when it comes to certain storylines, and of course WWE rips them off sometimes when it comes to gimmicks. But here's a storyline that just happened this year, a similar storyline, if you will, that just happened this year with WWE. We the people want to say, oh, it's a real deal, it was a real let go, a real release and all that. No, folks, it was a storyline, it was a worked release, it was a worked shoot. When WWE released Daniel Bryan, right? We all were wondering whether it was real or not. WWE had us on the strings until Daniel Bryan came back, right? Do you smell similarity? Because now TNA's doing the same thing with Dixie Carter, throwing out these kind of messages on her Facebook. I mean, usually when Dixie Carter posted something on her Facebook about Jeff or somebody, it was always positive. Now it's negative. Again, how desperate is TNA how desperate is TNA for attention? How desperate is TNA to say, hey, we're now the major league, we're now the #1 company? I'd say very desperate. Because I think, honestly, and I have said this, and #1 and 1/4/27 Wayne Gretzky has agreed with me on this, that TNA already knows, the people in charge of writing this damn storyline, this damn story angle of the Immortals / Fortune group taking over. Everybody knows just by what Dixie's doing on here now, and by the fact that that's just trying to get a media attention from somebody that would never say something like that. Again, how desperate. And again, does it not make anybody realize that even now, Vince Russo, Bischoff, and Hogan realize, oh shit, even though we got high ratings and everything, people are already shitting on this angle? Yeah, let me explain the high ratings deal. Let me explain that for a second. It's like Twisted Goalie was trying to say, excuse me there for a second, and it's like other people have probably said. The only reason you got high ratings is because you said at Bound for Glory was gonna. You had been promoting for months that Bound for Glory was gonna change everything in TNA. Well, yeah, it did change everything, but come on, change it for what? A rehashing, a repeat, a reliving of 15 years ago? I mean, what are we gonna do? Deal with the Immortals / Fortune stable for what, the next 2 to 3 years? See, wrestling fans are too smart for that now. Wrestling reporters and critics are too smart for that right now. Some may say, oh, give it a chance. Oh yeah, we'll give it a chance, alright. The only way anybody's gonna really get interested in this storyline is if a lot of friction, a lot of disbandment, and it's like I said in my previous videos, if a lot of balancing out takes place. That's the only way people are going to watch TNA again and be interested in the storyline. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Now, yeah, you got your highest ratings, but for a reason. Again, like I said, and everybody's agreed with this, it's because you said Bound for Glory was going to change everything, and a lot of fans, whether they're TNA or not, want to tune in and see what you were talking about. That's why you got your high ratings. I guarantee next week you continue this shit with this angle, and you continue things like Dixie Carter coming on her Facebook and saying the things that she did, and then probably having Hulk. Look what Hogan says about what, a couple of nights before Impact airs, I think it was, or something. He says, "Good night, Maniacs," but then he says, "Oh, excuse me, Immortals." Seriously, is TNA that desperate for storylines? Are they that desperate? I got some fans here saying, well, one fan here says he's loving TNA, just now keep getting better and better, can't wait till the world tour in Scotland. Hey buddy, no offense, but if you lived here in the United States, you'd have a better idea of why we're all pissed off about this. No offense. And then one person says that this whole Jeff being a heel is a lot like Raven with a Jeff Hardy twist on the side. But he says it was overdue for Jeff to be a heel. But here's one person that's telling Dixie, I'm sorry, Dixie, but with Hogan, Bischoff, Flair, and Hardy and Jarrett, I don't think I'll be tuning into TNA for a while. Going back to Monday Night Raw. I like you, Dixie, but I cannot stand Hogan, Bischoff. They suck, all of them. And then here's another that says, time to rally your troops, Dixie. Gather an army and take back TNA. You got Joe, Pope, RVD, Anderson, Kurt, and I'm pretty damn sure EV2 would love to kick Fortune's ass some more. And now here's another saying, Dixie, if this is really you, please read my post. And then another says, Dixie, there's nothing like a woman scorned. And I said that before. Just a lot of people back and forth, I will admit that. Now here's one person that said, the recent comments by you, Dixie, are gold. I love the comments from all the fans too. The smarts like to try and ruin the fun though. Of course. Of course someone would say that we're trying to ruin the fun. We're not trying to ruin the fun. We're just trying to point out the fact that TNA needs to wake up and realize people aren't going to stand for this. The guys over at 7X Radio, 7X Wrestling Radio, they have basically made a suggestion to anybody that goes to the Impact Zone at Universal Studios that if you want to, turn your back, as soon as Hogan and company comes out, turn your back on them, give them the middle finger, if you will, and say, basically, in a way, in unison, basically say, hey, this is how much we think of this stupid situation. It's, But again, talk about playing a storyline to the hilt. They're going as far as having Dixie or somebody being Dixie or something like that, posting things on her Facebook that she would never really say. But then again, after what we saw on Thursday, then again Dixie might be taking it a little. Dixie Carter might be saying, hey, if this worked for WWE, maybe it'll work for us. Guess what? After a while, well, guess what? Here's a little news flash. After a while, we already knew this whole Daniel Bryan firing in WWE was a work. We already knew it. Yeah, he got to work some independents and all that, including the NWA, but we already knew it was a work. We already knew it was. Come on, you think you're going to leave one of your top-rated heels on your franchise flag show without a rival or without a feud unresolved? You going to do that? I don't think so. See what I mean? See what I'm talking about? TNA, quite honestly, if you or anybody in TNA watches YouTube, looks at who subscribes to you guys, let me tell you this right now. Yeah, you got your ratings, but how long is it going to last? Next week, think people are going to tune in? You think your ratings are going to be high next week? No. Because people already know what's going to happen. People have already probably talked to those that were at the Impact Zone when these tapings occurred, and they already know what's going to happen. So no, you're not going to get very high ratings. And you know what's funny? TNA, you're doing it. If you wanted to do this, you're damn sure doing it at the wrong time. Because you're doing it at a time when NFL Network is going to come around with the Thursday Night Football. College football season is going to start heating up. Then you got the NBA on Thursday nights. You're going to have college basketball on Thursday nights. You're doing this at the wrong time. If I was you and I wanted to do a rehashing of this, I would have done it as soon as Hogan and Bischoff got there. That way I would have had enough time to work it out throughout the whole year and then bring it to an end at Bound for Glory. But no, you wanted to wait, and now it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. So Dixie or anybody in charge there, listen. If you guys watch YouTube videos, if you listen to Facebook people on Facebook, quit the storyline, quit this angle while you can. End it as soon as possible. Live up to the pay-per-view names that you got coming up. Turning Point, Final Resolution. Figure a way to either balance it out so it won't be boring, so it'll be like an even playing field for both sides, or just kill it. Because yeah, this may be a younger version of NWO, with the only exception that Hogan, Bischoff, and Flair may be at ringside now. Sorry about that. But honestly, TNA, listen to your fans. Listen to